Subgroups. Quite an interesting concept, really. You have your Seekers, your Coneheads, Primes. You have Throttlebots, Mini-bots, Triple Changers, Headmasters, Godmasters, Powermasters, Powered Masters, Brain Masters, all different kinds of subgroups. And I like the concept of subgroups. It come to a point at Auto Assembly when I didn't buy War for Cybertron full of Cybertron, Skywolf, and Thundercracker because I couldn't find Starscream. So it's one of those, you try and keep them close-knit, try and keep them together. But what do you do when you've got a subgroup, or you've kind of come up with your own subgroup, that has no faction loyalty or even toy line loyalty? Well, don't move, you're surrounded by armed bastards. Yes, this is a review of 3 of the same mould. I don't usually do these, 3 of the same mould, but I couldn't review one and ignore the other considering how these 2 were on my AA wish list. We have Universe Drop Shot, we have Cybertron Defense Scattershot, and we have Universe Overload. Now you see why coming up with a subgroup name was a bit of a tricky one. Because you have 2 Autobots, 1 Decepticon, therefore you can't brand them as Autobots or Decepticons. Universe, Cybertron. Therefore, you can't brand it as Universe, or you can't brand it as Cybertron. I also don't think Scattershot and his repaint buddies would be a good subgroup name. I'm pretty sure I missed out a shit ton more subgroup names during the pre-title thing. Combiners, But, Insecticons. But, I was, the name came to me from Doctor Who, Curse of Fatal Death. It was a comic relief special starring Rowan Atkinson, written by Stephen Moffat. Starring Rowan Atkinson as a doctor and one of the Sawalis, I think it was Julia, as a companion. There was, it was this little spoof thing done, and it was quite funny. And they run through these corridors, or should I say this corridor, multiple times, and they even make reference to that. And they open the door and there's some Daleks behind these doors. It's like exterminate and all that. But someone had taken that clip and done their own version, and they'd basically dubbed over the Daleks with the don't move, you're surrounded by armed bastards thing from, I think it's Life on Mars. And yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. And I was looking at these guys at Auto Assembly, not Drop Shots, didn't take them with them, but I was looking at these in the robot mode, and it was like, yeah, don't move, you're surrounded by armed bastards. And the name just stuck. So this subgroup of mine is now the Armed Bastards. Quite literally. So let's get down to Plastax. We have Drop Shot. This is the first one I got. Way back way. I think few Adams refer to him as Lemony Fresh. But even though he is lemony fresh, he is still a fucking monster. Treads don't move, but he has wheels underneath, so he can go brum brum. He's got the massive fucking spikes at the front. None of these fire, but you know what I'm like with missiles, I'm glad they don't fire. Decepticon symbol on the top. And that which I don't know what it means up there. gun can be attached by use of this Minicom power links plug. It doesn't do anything, but you know, it's storage. And there is some nice molded detail in this thing. It's the same with the others as well. I don't know if I can show you it so clearly. Just some nice molded detail and stuff. It's not like it's smooth plastic anywhere. And yeah, so that's Drop Shot. It comes with this rather bland Cyber Planet key. It's just brown. Move on to Overload. And like Universe Drop Shot, that panel is brown. He has the grey bits there. It looks a bit more uniform and a little bit nicer, I think. But then you've got the kind of digital camouflage, because it kind of could look like camouflage, but it's all squared off and edged and shit. The lighter green, it does look nice. Again, details and stuff. This one didn't come with his own Cyber Planet key. I've got a replacement key with it when I bought it off Matt. Don't know whose it is, but it looks better than Drop Shot. Same premise with this. I take a better look at the gun. Nicely molded. Doesn't fire or anything, but yeah, it's still awesome. And apart from that hole on the inside, which you know you use to probably plug it into something, it's not hollow that much, which is nice. And then we got From Whence It Came, the original one, Scattershot. A nice complement of, he's got a lot of colours going, but it's not like there's too many. I mean, Drop Shot's your basic. He's got brown, lemony yellow, and grey, and some green in there, and some silver paint. It complements well. Overload, you've got the 2 shades of green, and some greys and blacks, and a bit of red underneath. Again, it complements well. I think Scattershot has more colours obvious at first, more blatant colours in his vehicle mode. You've got the grey there, the black underneath, you've got that blue, you've got that grey, almost powdery, faded blue. You've got that other shade of blue there that is different to the other blues. You've got the gold, and you've got these bits here, and the silver there. There's a lot of nice colours, and they'll go well together nicely. So that's the vehicle mode of these guys. Oh, and even his I think they're painted silver, the missiles. Overloads aren't, they're just black. But Scattershots are painted gold, and they really stand out nicely. Stand out better than the other versions missiles. But yeah, let's get down to transforming. First thing you do is you need to take out these panels on this side. Yeah, I had to actually look on YouTube last night to see if I'd actually reviewed Drop Shot. And then what you need to do is pull it out slightly and turn it around, because they are on. There's a ball joint thing. Oh, you can't really see it so good. Ball joint thing there. You need to turn it around, and underneath hole and peg at the bottom of his leg. Right. Actually, the first thing you probably should do is pull out these to make the feet, and then at the back pull out the other parts from the heel spurs. and then plug that in, like so. Same premise with this one, you basically just do that, and then fold down. Line it up nice and tight, and bam, stick it in. Check the key out for the minute because we don't want to see that. And then basically you split the arms, these things, and bring them round like so. Bend at the elbows, bend at the elbows, and then inside of the fists. Just a simple flip out job. It really is quite simple. Split the legs. That's the thing, it's so big and so hefty, so beefy. The transformation is just so simple, yet so fun. Final thing. His head is tucked up round the back. Just, bring it up and around and like that, and slot it into the groove. Now you have basically, there is Scattershot in his robot mode. Armed bastards. Literally. So I'm not going to run you through it all 3 times, but it is, and the ball joints on these do tend to pop out if you're not careful. I won't call it a manufacturing fault, it's just, it's the way the toy was made. So, just a case of quickly just transforming these and doing that. Yeah, I just realised, the feet bit isn't necessary to do it first. I just find it easier. Split the legs, and you have drop shot. Round 3 with overload. Again, I took the key out because I don't want to expose any cool gimmickry just yet. Split the arms. Fists out, and head up and over. Split the legs. Overload. Now, before I get into the Cyberplanet gimmickry and shit, take a look at the colours. We'll start with Overload, seeing as I'm holding him. There's very few touches of red. There's like 3 red points that go in with the camo green and stuff, but it does look nice. I do like it. The red knee guards and the red visor goggle things over his helmet. They don't come off, but I'm not going to complain about that. But he just looks, monstrous. He looks fucking hefty as hell. And, yeah, this is an Autobot, people. This is one of the good guys. But yeah, he's got nice different shades. He's got a darker shade of green as well on his chest. And the dark grey on his legs. And, the lighter green on his arms. And then the standard vehicle mode green on his bastard arms and legs. Got the Autobot symbol just there, just to remind you that, yeah, he is a good guy. Scattershot. Now, one difference with Scattershot, if I am correct, where was it? Yes. That panel, is it that leg? Yeah. That panel there, that was brown on Overload and Dropshot, isn't painted on this. But yeah, Overload much of the same colouring wise. Silver chest with the almost bronze on the underneath on his abs, silver on the legs and stuff, and the navy blue, like not as vibrant, the muted navy blue, and then this grey that it's sort of bluey grey sort of thing. And his I don't know what this colour is, the same colour as his arms, red. Head, sorry. It's just all in all a nice figure with the silver knee pads. Just a lot of good detail in these things. His Autobot symbol is on his cannon, as opposed to his crotch piece. And then onto Dropshot, whose Decepticon symbol is also on there, and he's got his lemon yellow and his grey. And what's interesting is that is a darker shade of brown than these bits here, and also underneath, but it's got nice silver, what are they, pistons maybe, this rib cage area, and then the green knee pads, and the, I don't know if you can see it very well, but he has a purple hint in his goggles at the top. That is purple in there. All of these things have different paint applications. I mean, obviously they're different colours, but different paint apps in different places. So it's not just a case of that's yellow, that's a different colour. Because look, Dropshot has the brown at the top, and then apart from the decals like the number and the Decepticon logo, that's it for his arm cannons. Whereas Scattershot has the same colour at the top, barring this piece of gold here, but then he also has this painted in muted dark blue there, and the same on there. Whereas Scattershot, Overload, sorry, has the brown as well, but he also has the numbering, and he has a different design on his arm. It's the same with the legs. Dropshot has pretty plain tread parts of his legs. Scattershot has the pixelated camo design. Overload, sorry, and Scattershot has silver. You know, we've gone into detail about the feet. Red knee guards, green knee guards, and because I don't have 3 arms, silver knee guards. The chest designs are different as well. They all have the shoulder things painted, one colour or another. You can see with Overload, the ab rib section is all painted that light green that is showing everywhere else. Dropshot has the nice silver that is showing, that, you know, we see only on the shoulders and the face. I think that's rare because Dropshot has a lot less silver. He's got more grey. His face is silver, the ribs are silver, and the circles on his shoulders are silver. The rest of it's grey. Scattershot, definitely the more silvered up of the bunch. If you check his ribs, he has blue ribs, but he has a silver line going down. Just to break it up a little bit. The other two have more universal colours in terms of the ribs. This one has barely any paint, but he has some, and it breaks it up nicely. Also, you know, the blue from the shoulders falls down into the chest piece there, and then the rest of that bit is painted. Whereas with Dropshot, it's a similar sort of premise, but it's like the I think it was moulded in brown. So yes, the yellow falls down into the chest piece, but the rest of the torso and the crotch is predominantly brown. So there's a nice little reversal thing there. With Overload, I think they've gone the same route. Grey painted top, bleeding down into the chest, and then the rest of it is main green. But yeah, there are just a few of the things. There's probably more stuff that I'm missing. But it's not a simple repaint. Some of them you'll get, and they are... I can justify the time on this. I'm technically talking about 3 figures. Some of them you'll get, and they'll just be... I don't think we've got any examples, but 2007 movie Bumblebee and 2007 movie Cliffjumper. The paint apps are exactly the same, as far as I can tell. I might be wrong. Bumblebee's yellow with red, yellow with black, Cliffjumper's red with white and maybe black trims along this racing stripe. But as far as I can tell, because I've got Bumblebee, I haven't got Cliffjumper, as far as I can tell, the paint is in the same place. With these guys, the paint is in different places. I mean, credit to Hasbro, it's not like let's release this one. Yeah, let's release it again as this one. Well, we won't do much to it. They have done stuff to differentiate between them. They've done a damn good job of it, I think. And the mold is just kick-ass. It is an awesome toy. I spoke to a load of people at AA, a few people at AA, and they're like, oh yeah, I do like that one. Yeah, so Anywho, they had the Cyber Planet keys. This is where they become really armed bastards. Let's use Overload, seeing as I'm holding him with his not Cyber Planet key. You know how to use a Cyber Planet key, surely. You just plug it in the top. And then you need to straighten his arms out. And then that just comes out. What you've got, interestingly enough, is that bit that was on the top. That little ridge coming out there where my middle finger is. Fits into his hand, kind of like a false handle. So it looks like he's holding them. And then, also, you've got the scope thing there. Yeah, probably, I don't know, maybe a Minicon can search for target. And then pull these out. There's a little thing on the top where you slide it. Yep. One-armed bastard. Then take the key out. And all this will stay out. It won't collapse back in. So I think on Cybertron Prime, once you take the key out of one of the guns, it folds back in. I think it's a lipstick dog penis gun that he has. Same on the other side. And then bam. But in order to get this one to fully go down, you need to slide. And this is another problem. That sliding piece is tight. The joints not so much. You slide it down. The arm may come off, but it can be reattached. So, there you have it with Overload, fully weaponized, in full-on armed bastard mode. Check out that, he's got a big fucking gun there that doesn't fire. He's got his big guns here that do fire. But I'm not even going to entertain that thought. Because you know my record of missiles. That's Overload's armed bastard mode. It is beast. Not really sure where to put the gun, to be honest. Maybe peg it on his leg. Like that. So we've got an extra, thing to shoot on his leg. That's fine, because, you can't really put it in his hands. You probably could if you didn't have all this shit extended, but, that's the way the cookie crumbled. So, let's put him off to the side there. Okay, so, Scattershot has his Cyber Planet key. It's got the Orbos symbol, and it's got grey around, so it's nice. FYI, the guns do fit in the hand. I haven't showed that bit off yet, so yeah. pre-armed bastard. Excuse me. Same concept. You stick that key in there, straighten his arm out, put the key in, that folds around. Amber type scope thing there. Push that down, all the way down, and missiles. And again, it comes back to Scattershot having the better painted missiles, because if you look at that's, you know, the lighting shows it and it looks deadly and shit because it's all black, but you know, the gold missiles, they add to this one. Right, so before I open it up, I'm gonna pull that arm down and then stick the key in. V4KT it says on the back of his key. I have no idea why. And then that. And there you have Scattershot in full-on armed bastard mode. We'll put him legged bastard as well, or one-legged bastard, just because. He guns down. Bang his key back in there. One problem I have with these, and it's a very minor fault, is that sometimes when you try and fold it all back up when you took the keys out, it doesn't always want to go back in properly. Just takes a bit of gentle nudging. Drop shot. Straighten the arm. It's a good job I'm having 3 of these, because, you know, I learned from my mistakes. The drop shot, to go with the nice little purple that you can't really see on there, has a purple springy thingy, scope thing I'm guessing it is. I'm not entirely sure. Get here. Third verse, same as the first and second. Yeah. Straighten that arm, pull that down, and bish bash bosh, Robert is most definitely your mother's brother. Drop shot in his armed bastard mode. Yeah. Yes. Don't move, you're surrounded by armed bastards. I mean, let's face it, would you move if you were surrounded by these 3 armed bastards? Okay, I want to show them all off at once. This might cause a bunch of, let's see. Bit close. Yeah, you're only really seeing drop shot there, aren't you? Let's see if I can work the magic of my fingers. No. I'm not trying to combine here. Sometimes I forget I have knees. Notice if I can just, you know, grab my thumbs in there. There you have them, all fully arm bastarded out. Just so Scattershot doesn't get left behind. And they are the titties. Right, I'm just going to de-weaponize drop shot just for the points of articulation. Those are almost done here. So that's what I mean about that. There. Push this sumbitch up. And push the missiles in. It's this one, it can be a bit better. Done. Okay, so he's de-weaponized. His head, you know, you can make him look up, but it's on that next thing, so it looks weird. It does turn left and right. Arms have a full 360, surprisingly, considering all the junk on the sides. Not junk. They go out. Nice ratchets. Bend at the elbows. No wrist swivel, but that's because they fold in like that. Same on the other arm. Legs go out, forward, bend at the knees. I actually questioned that when I bought Overload off Matt because they didn't bend so good because they were so tight. They bend fine now. Legs go out. Has a waist swivel, which is interesting, so you could like, I'll put you down for a sec. Bit of a hollow back, but I can go for that. We've got the Armed Bastard of Overload. Now, they have waist swivels, which at first I thought was pointless, but just think of this. Armed Bastard turrets. Yeah, you're surrounded by armed bastards, even if your backup comes, a quick once around, and your backup's fucked. Yeah. Fucking, just yeah. So, armed bastards. Drop shot. Overload. And because he's the original, I would put him as the chief of the armed bastards, Scattershot. I've been Dazarus Prime with my new subgroup, the Armed Bastards. You shall see me next time, and don't move, you're surrounded.